All right, so we're going to go ahead and record. And we just want to let everyone know as we're getting started that we have very intermittent space video. So if we get stopped for any reason, it's just because of the signal is pretty low.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi just seems to be rotating.
Yeah, I couldn't even watch the video. We tried to watch the video this morning for today's message, and it's just spinning and spinning and spinning, so it wouldn't let us do it.
So who would like to pass on the first message that the video was about today?
Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
Well, let's see if I can, let's see what I can do with that, because I have seen it. It was very powerful. He was using the analogy of you need to be going for the goal, not the outcome. And he gave an example of Tiger Woods does not think about, in an interview, he doesn't think about making a birdie or making a par or whatever. He thinks about he needs to hit that ball from the tee so many hundreds of yards, and he wants to be on the left side of the fairway, the right side of the fairway, and that's his goal, and that's what he's thinking about when he's at the tee, not what the ultimate outcome at the hole will be. And that was just one example of it. He had lots more, but a lot of it was about, you know, working your goals versus your outcomes.
Wonderful.
You know, the nice thing about that,
it was a good long video, so that's just a very brief synopsis of it.
So, and that goes along with, did anyone watch the Masters? Or not too long, or it wasn't, no, the Tour,
It was,
the Tour Challenge.
Yeah, the challenge, yeah.
And, you know, and he was in the lead coming in, but there were a couple of players that could catch him. And he had a couple bad holes towards the end where he was dropping.
Right.
And he did not let an outward emotion show at all. He kept his focus on what he needed to accomplish.
Yeah, I think that was the most I've seen in his performance in a very long time.
Mm-hmm. He's starting to get it back.
Laser.
Yeah.
That laser focus.
He said at the end of that, he said at the end of that when he was doing an interview that they asked him what effect the crowds cheering for him had, and all of them following along behind him there, and he said, I couldn't think about that. I still had a hole to play. And so he was thinking about what his next shot would be, not what all was going around him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my daughter was a swimmer in high school and college, and there was one mother who had her daughter on the high school swim team who used to run up and down the pool link screaming at her daughter the whole time that she was competing for a race. And my daughter would say, Mom, don't even waste your breath. We can't hear you.
No, that's just what it is. So laser focused. I love that. Margaret, that was a really great synopsis of the gist of the video this morning. Thank you. Does anybody want to add anything else about the video today?
Maybe we should, who's had a chance to see the video yet today?
Actually, I saw it, but I'm still just a little bit confused. So I was hoping for clarification this morning.
Okay.
I'll get on the evening call too for everybody else that's watched it and just see. He started down the road of one example and didn't finish it, and it was what I needed to hear, I think, to connect the dots. So,
what was the example?
Yeah.
Weight loss. It wasn't about a number on a scale, and then he got just kind of sidetracked on something else.
I can tell you probably what he was talking about. There is no there. So even if there's a number on the scale, when you get to that point, you're going to go, oh, well, that's not enough. There is no there.
Yeah.
So what even if you got to that number on the scale, you may want to change the tone of your muscles. Mm-hmm. You know, so
right.
You know, it's always striving to be better than what your goal is.
Okay. You know,
said something about not letting the reward. I think maybe it was not letting the reward, focusing on the goal instead of the reward, like with Tiger Woods.
Mm-hmm.
And Margaret, you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
He focused here on this hole, on this shot, not the whole game. And not even the whole, not like he needs to birdie this hole. This shot is what he needs to do.
Mhm.
Now he needs to get so far down the green down the fairway on this one, and on the next one he wants to get on the green, and he, depending on the hole, he might want to be up or down or to the side of the hole, depending on the hole itself. But he only thought of one shot at a time. And you're right, the other word other than outcome was reward. You don't think about what you're going to get for it. You're thinking about what's the step that you're needing to focus on right now. So.
In addition to
He
that,
gave an analogy. Oh,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
He gave an analogy of 3 sisters too. One was just focused on like what she wanted to do. You know, she did all of her work, and her parents really didn't have to worry about her. The other one was, I think, and he
Imagination.
he tied the word focus into the first sister. The other one, who did everything new and fun and sometimes not so good, they put a lot of focus on her, and that was imagination. And then the third one, their favorite, was memory, because she wanted to stay in the same town, she went to the same church, she wanted to, you know, settle down like they did, and that was memory. And I just really struggled putting it all together. So I look forward to watching it again, and really maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure.
Okay. So, well,
And he was kind of, the tie together on that was trying to pull all 3 into your own journey, that you need to have the imagination and you need to have the focus on it though too. And it was trying to, you know, certain things would pull you back if you let it. If you were just one or the other of those, you wouldn't get to where you needed to be, but you needed to have all 3 of those working together somewhere. You're right. It probably would be good to go back and listen to it. So
the sister that dwelt on the memory, what do you think that symbolized?
you're wanting to stay where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about
Yeah.
the one who excelled and had focus?
Well, just
Put
that,
focus.
she's driven. She's driven. She wanted.
Did she step out of her comfort zone?
I think that's just who she was. I don't think she stepped out of her comfort zone.
Okay, and what about the one with imagination?
Probably not focused.
Just
Not focused,
she was
but
way
she
out
was
of her
willing-
comfort zone all the
She was willing
time.
to step into the uncomfortable zone.
Yeah.
But she had no focus, so she didn't have direction in that.
Right, right,
She did things really well. She just didn't stick at anything.
Right.
right.
So,
I really like the idea of not forgetting where you came from, though, from a memory perspective, so that you can push forward to get out of that comfort zone. So, although I haven't seen the video for this one.
Yeah, well, I've seen it, and it's you have to have all 3 to be successful. To challenge yourself to step out of your comfort zone, but be willing to step back in for those that are around you. You know, like the parents had trouble with the one that had too much imagination, because she was out in a zone that they had no
control.
relation to.
Yeah.
And the one with focus needed the imagination to go even further.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So we need all 3.
Mm-hmm.
Christy, did you want to add more?
You're muted.
You're good.
Okay, all right.
You had raised your hand.
No, now it's good.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, how has everyone's week been, and where are we on all of this past week? I have to hear of all of your epiphanies, because I will share. This has been a huge. Well, it's been a growth week because we're in state to create. So it's natural. We're just going to have some things. But prior to getting here, I had a huge epiphany, and then being here just rounded it out. And I wrote about it today in today's lesson, and that even myself, and we talked about it on our drive here, I myself have gotten myself so overloaded with too many things that I'm forgetting to maintain the focus, and therefore I'm not getting anything done. the things that are the highest priority because I have so much on my plate. And so my realization and my growth this week has really been, Laura, you need to pull it back. If you're going to be and do the things that you want to get and attain, you have to pull it back and stop doing and adding more pieces on.
Yeah, you all were really good the first week about talking about letting things get in the way, which creates avoidance of stepping out of your comfort zone. And that was a huge aha moment for me. I feel my plate so full that I'm literally not getting anything done. And that's avoidance of doing it.
I'm getting it done.
Yeah. So, but once you recognize that, that's a step out of deception. So then you start to prioritize and focus what it is that you need to get done to reach the visions that you've created.
Let's go ahead and start. Who wants to go first? We'll mute ourselves and then someone go ahead and unmute themselves.
Don't make us call on you.
I'll jump in again. Of course, I'm still in the throes of recovering from my surgery, so I've been really focused on my exercise and fitness here and trying to do what I'm supposed to do there. But I found I had to tone myself back a little bit there because I was trying to do too much too soon and wanting to get too far ahead. And as much as I wanted to be a goal way far ahead of where I was, I had to tone it down. And that was hard to do. But yes.
Sorry, I forgot to unmute it.
That was really good, Margaret, because you tend to be an overachiever anyway. So just sometimes an overachiever just pushes towards the goal without creating the vision. So you realize you had your vision on where you wanted yourself to be physically during a certain period of time. And sometimes life throws us a curveball.
And it's all about those steps that you put into place. So when you race through those steps, sometimes you end up getting hurt in your case. So you don't want to overdo. You want to just take each step and look at each step like with your focus. So that was great share.
Mm-hmm.
Who's next?
Karen?
I'll go. I have been thinking this week so I've been in a funk for months, like not just not sure what's going on. And I think that this week I realized that it's because I haven't been focusing on my real passion, which for my whole life has been music. And I've got to figure out how to, even if it's just for fun, singing, playing my violin, piano, whatever, I have to bring that back. And so now I'm in the middle of, at the beginning of trying to figure out what that means, how that means to my business, and going from there. So anyway, I've got to get that back.
Wow. That is a great recognition, Karen. That is outstanding because it's just, again, you recognize that, and that's kind of what this week is all about too, is going back. I loved how much reflection time was in each day of the week. We had a lot of opportunity to go back and reread where and what we were trying to accomplish. And I really liked that reflection time because I, like you, Karen, I think I went back and tweaked a couple of things that I wrote. I was like, that doesn't just make sense where I want to be. And so that was really outstanding. And I think that's a great share from getting, especially that recognition will get you out of that particular funk.
Part of that, sometimes, when we have a great passion that we've worked towards, and then all of a sudden we get married and have kids, and all of a sudden every joy that we had gets put on a back burner. Finding a way to incorporate it with our family and let them feel your passion and joy is really important. We met a young woman at Celebration who was a musician, and she got signed in Nashville as a
Very young in life.
as a recording artist, did really, really well.
Yeah.
But then she got married and had children and moved to Oregon and realized that she couldn't pursue that and have the family. You know, sometimes you have to rearrange your life. And so she actually opened up what she called a school of rock.
Oh, is this before she sold everything?
Yeah, before she sold everything. And so what she did is she opened up this school and taught young teenagers how to be stars. Oh, okay. And we have a lot of activity around us. And so then now that her children are older and she's an empty nester, she's decided to go back and pursue her dream. So she sold her school and now she's back in Nashville recording. So it's, you know, sometimes we have to put things on a back burner before we can move ahead. So that was great, Karen. I'm glad that you thought about bringing that joy back in. The kids will love it too.
I mean, you have to realize if we don't have joy in what it is that we're doing, then you know that that's a signal that there's a disconnect, right? You have to have that ultimate joy in casting the vision for where you're going to catapult yourself to the next space. Who's next?
Okay, I'll go. So I have three kind of separate things. We went on a hike this weekend, actually two of them, and one of them was considerably longer than I was led to believe and considerably harder than I was told it was going to really be. And, you know, I never was negative in my head. My self-talk was positive. I'm going to make it. I mean, I didn't really know how long it was until we got to, you know, the end of the first trip. So that was huge for me. And just the self-talk and the conversation I had with Mike on the way was all about this and processing the two hurts in my life with the relationship things. And it was just really, really good to have this, like, it's all woven into my life now. That's really fun. And then when I was writing at the end of the day, I was writing something, and the words love, kindness, and prosperity came into my mind. And so those are the three words that I'll probably hang on to, like what Lindsay was talking about last week. So that was fun. And actually love came up several times. I think we all have that one. Are those yours too, Laura? Love, kindness, and prosperity. I can't hear you.
Mine go off all the time, and I'm so loving having this alarm system. It's just,
Okay,
you know,
that's what I didn't get it.
you didn't put it on your alarm system?
I don't know how to do that.
Okay, super easy. So you go to your clock setting and you type in a reminder or a time, give it your time frame, do one, and then you just repeat it daily. And you put in the message, what the message is, what the alarm is. So you can label your alarm, what it is that you're waking up to, if it's waking up to. Then just say repeat, copy, and do another one for the time that you want it to come again a second time and a third time. I'm considering actually doing it, like spacing it out like 4 or 5 times in the process of a day. I'm just like, I giggle now. Oh, you know, when it comes up.
She has me giggling with it.
So it's in settings.
What you can do is find music to go along with your words.
Mine do.
Yeah, and then the music will come on.
Yes. Yeah, the music. So I have I'll look at what the music time is. It's a beautiful chime on my phone, and it's just like, Brett's like, what is that? And I said, well, that's just my motivation, baby. It's who I am. And he says, okay, I don't really understand. And I said, that's okay, just turn it off. So it's the camera. So I have right there. That's the alarm. Can you see it?
Okay. Yep.
Okay. So that's just one.
The clock app.
Yeah. And then, so if I click on it, edit, click on it. It's the sound is uplift is what I chose. So you can pick and label. You can label it and then pick your sound. Okay.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So go to settings first and I'll find it in alarms. Bring it down just a little bit. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll work on that today.
You're going to love it. I absolutely love it. I just thought that was a really special gift that we had last week from Lindsay.
I did too. I did get around to getting it done. Okay, so the last thing is, I noticed when I was at the gym, it was not many people are friendly at the gym, but I don't know why, but they just don't say good morning. I always say good morning to people, but this last week it was good morning. How are you? Good. How are you? Good. And I walked away going, dang it, I'm not good. I'm fantastic. And why didn't I have my energy? Why was I just like, good morning? It's like, So that was a big revelation to me, and just showing up and having a different state with everybody I meet.
77%
That was good.
is physiology and your posture.
I can't hear you.
Yeah. Maybe not even hear what you're saying.
You're not muted, Barb, but we can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear us? Here you go. Is that
Okay,
better?
there. Now we can.
77% of what you're showing is your physiology. So people may see you walk in. Remember when I said last time when we went to Tony Robbins, we had an exercise where wherever we went, we had to walk in like we were at the shining light. So you walk in that door, you throw your chest out and your shoulders back, and you walk through that door like you're going to own the place.
Exactly.
And see what kind of responses you get when you walk in.
I absolutely love, Tammy, I love this share. And here's what it is. You are already transforming into the positive person that you're putting down in your mindset and your goals, because you said during your hikes, all positive self-talk, and you were amazed and reflecting back how it was just positive self-talk. Even though it was a hard hike, you didn't even know half the miles that you were going to go to. I mean, wow, that's just like huge growth. And who Christine wrote, that this is huge. It is absolutely huge. I agree with you, Christine. You wrote exactly what was in my brain. And at the gym and everywhere you go, this is one thing that, I take it for granted. I'm just going to be transparent. I take it for granted that I just walk into any place that I am, and if I don't have a smile on my face, I would think, what the heck is going on? If anyone saw me and I walked into a room without a smile, I mean, they'd be saying something's up.
What's really interesting, if you go into a downtown area where you live, make it a mission for the half hour that you're walking from your car to the location where you are, to see how many people actually respond to you when you say, hi, good afternoon, good morning, and actually look you in the eye. And a lot of times, you can save one life by doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That one person who's felt they're unnoticed for the day and you happen to notice them, gives them an uplift that gets them going. So just think about that. The next time you park your car and you're walking into a store or anything, just see how many people respond to you on the way in.
The people that want your mojo, you're going to change their life because they want that mojo. Oh, look at that energy. And then when you have that presence, your aura, it just like will shine out. Like people just would be attracted to all of that. And the gifts that you give off by just sharing the love and the heart, your love from your heart to others by doing that, it's just crazy.
One of the other exercises they did at Tony Robbins that we went to was an exercise where we could actually see this person's aura shining up through their head and across the stage.
Yeah.
It was so cool. So you don't realize that you give off a light if you choose to.
Well, you give off a light.
Yeah.
It's just how you frame your light.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you want to have as your presence. And so the more you give off a positive light, and like even think about it, like we're sitting here and we're sitting on our sit bones, but we're sitting straight up. So, and you know, I mean,
You
well, that's because I have 2 pillows. She only has 1. but literally, I'm on my sit bone because I can't even think of any other way than to be present with all of you, because it just, that's how I live my life. I just want to live that way and express my enthusiasm for everything and everyone that I'm doing. So, I mean, that's how, when you walk into that gym, Tammy, and you're going to be like opening the door and just like Barb said, throw your chest out there and say, hello, beautiful, I'm here.
I'm not going to believe how many people are attracted to your energy. Something like that. We did it going into the grocery store. We have people in the deli like, ooh, gee, I wonder what these 2 ladies are doing. You're Christine.
Sorry.
I was just going to say, I'll jump in right there. There have been times when I go to our local grocery store and I giggle to myself because as I walk through, I'm just like, hi. And you can see people like duck and run. And I'm like, oh, yeah, those are not my people. But there are a lot of people who like don't know what to do with that energy, because we live in a world where everybody's, you know, doing this or just completely distracted from what they're the way that we are choosing to live. And so it is very uncomfortable for a lot of people. And I go back to one of the very first personal development books that I read, and that is The Energy Bus. And it talks about the energy vampires. And I'm like, well, there goes a vampire, and they're self-eliminating themselves from my life. So I'm just going to be like, see you later. And it's not like I want them to go. But if they're not attracted to that and they're not coming to that, then I'm going to be okay with them I'm not going to run after and try to bring that into my life. I don't need that. I need the people who are wanting and looking for that. Probably the standout for me in watching the video is a statement that Rod made, which is consistent efforts do far more than just build the specific thing that you're trying to begin. And I thought back to when I started meditating, doing the daily Tony Robbins guided meditation back a year ago in July. I was like, I'm just going to meditate. I want to do this for the gratitudes. This is, I'm only doing it for this. But it completely changed me and changed my life and my focus. Sorry, and I get emotional because of the impact that one consistent effort has made in my life. It truly has changed so many things. So that was super powerful to me. And then I'm just curious, did anybody else try to sit still for 5 minutes? I did 3 minutes. I set my time.
I did 5. I set a timer.
Good job.
But it was hard.
Yeah, and I was trying to get it done before the meeting, so I knew I didn't have a full 5 minutes. But I was like, I did do 3, but it was a challenge.
So this morning and yesterday morning, we've had a person who's come in and done some coaching on breathing. And just, like Christine, what you talked about, doing that meditation from Tony Robbins. So oh my gosh, we have somebody here. Hi. Hey, Christine. Hi, Karen. Hi, Christine. Hey, Kenya. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Margaret. Hi, Tammy. Nice to meet you guys. How are you?
So I went and grabbed Molly so she could say hi to you guys. How about being in a room of almost 90 people, all with attitudes like this?
It's a lot of energy.
What can I add?
Hey, Molly.
Hi.
We're talking about last week, which were the breaking patterns and bad habits.
Oh, you're in deception.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Well, they're actually starting to come out of it. A lot of them were in deception.
Disciplined imagination.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Disciplined imagination.
So that's what we're heading into.
This is the week that when I went through my first program, this was the week I was like, you are going to make me, you're going to do some weird assignments where you have to quiet your mind. And I didn't know that was a thing. And it was at first I just got really frustrated. And I remember I would restart the exercise like 10 times until I got it. But it was the week where I actually believed that I could do it. Like when you go through the first week and you're writing visions and stuff, it was like, I'm just filling in the blanks and checking the box. And then I got to week 4, and I remember I was looking out my window, and in my mind, I saw something that later on in my life came to fruition. But it was so eerie. It was one of those moments of serendipity where you're like, I've seen that before, but it was so conscious. It was like pre-active. It was like before it's going to happen, I saw it. And I got to that. And the real story is that program, I didn't write anything real. I just went in and I like faked it, but I listened to the videos. And, but at the end, on the last day, I had got a pay increase. I had broken up with someone. I had gotten approval for an apartment. Like on the 45th day, 3 huge areas of my life shifted without doing anything. And it speaks to how much power you have in your life. And whatever your beliefs are, it's genuinely it's not baloney. It's not made up. It's just, are you comfortable asking for it? And we heard that this morning in a powerful story. But just get comfortable asking, even if it's your partner and you want a glass of water, instead of going and getting it for yourself, allow them to serve you, not because they're your servant, but because they get something out of it. So saying, hey, can you get me a glass of water? And allow yourself to be uncomfortable asking someone to do something for you. And just those little acts can start to add up to where then you get comfortable to ask in your life for what you want. That's what I would say. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Isn't that like the best thing ever?
I love you guys. Holy moly.
Yeah. And we have another one at 9:30 tonight.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. If you need anything, like just describe it, keep it to yourselves, but you can reach out to me on Facebook. I'm usually about a 4-day turnaround. Or more. But I love, I'm
busy right now.
I know, but I love to answer questions or help in any way. So we're here for you, and you got some badass leaders that are some of the best in front of the camera, and you'll get to see that soon. So, they're good?
Yay. Yes, awesome.
Okay. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Have a good call.
Bye, Molly.
Oh my gosh, that was so fun.
I actually went to go look for Rod. I'll make another trip before we all sign off and see if I can find Rod for you guys.
I'm sure he's probably getting his food by now.
No, he wasn't in there.
He wasn't in there
I don't
yet?
know where he is.
Well, I saw some of the leadership team up there, so maybe that's where he was.
Upstairs. Okay.
Okay, so absolutely, Christine, I have to touch on a couple of things that you said right beforehand, and I'll come back to the whole breathing exercise that right before Molly got here. But no energy zappers. I love that from the energy bus. I absolutely love that, and that is exactly the way that's how you live your life. Is you don't ever let anyone take any energy from you, because then they win, and it's about you helping them grow. And so that was beautiful. I love that. And if they're not ready to grow, then you just keep going and you just say, come grow with me sometime later. And the sitting still for 5 minutes, that was their exercise. And Molly brought it up. So I love the fact that she brought it up. So we had this breathing exercise where literally it was a 10-minute activity. Didn't even know, because we got such in state of the moment of really reflecting and taking care of our breath and really enhancing how that breath flow came into our body and how we exhaled out through our body. And it was a whole process of just totally expanding our lungs, lifting our spine up through that breath, exhaling and keeping our posture the same, and exhaling. It was just a great exercise of breathing.
Yeah, the fun thing, and I'm getting ready to teach something similar in January. It's called the 40 Days of Personal Revolution by Baron Baptiste. I'm going to teach it to my yoga studio, and it's about living in the present. And that's what meditation is all about, is being in the present you think about it, anytime you do an exercise, you have to focus on actually what you're doing in the exercise class. It's like if you take a step class, if you're not focused on the step, you're going to be falling all over yourself. If you're on yoga, you're going to bend incorrectly. You know, if you're swimming, you're going to miss a stroke. So it shows how you have to live in the present. We can't live in the past. What does that serve us? And the future hasn't come, so we don't even know what to expect. But we can create it through imagination and expectation as we train it for our focus. And that's what's so awesome about all of this.
I have an experiment. Let's just go ahead and all summon in our thoughts right now. Let's summon Rod to walk by. Let's just summon it and see if he walks by while we're doing this. Like, you know.
Should I go do a walkthrough?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's get our energy going for that. All right. Okay. So who's next? Who's ready to share next? Thank you, Christine. That was just outstanding. I'm totally blown away with all of your perspective and how much you share. What amazing shares, great insight. And I'm telling you what, guys, you know, because most of you, I'm meeting sometimes for the very first time even on, you know, since we've been doing, and I've been taking so many great notes, and I love this growth that I'm being a part of. So I absolutely am inspired by all of you. So I just want to say thank you.
I'll go next, Laura. My phone totally went off, and I'm in the kitchen like, I'm supposed to be doing something. So you know how like when you know your switch has been made over because you're at that 21 day, I'm like, you actually was trying to make me miss my call. I'm going upstairs, still going to my call. Thank you very much. And so for me, the last 22 days has been like walking in, I wouldn't say a twilight zone because I know what's going on. Like having this awareness that's so unreal and almost feels like I have a treat that the people around me don't have. Because as things are coming my way that would normally knock me off my balance, throw me into victim, throw me into deception, I'm just switching. I'm rotating it. Like I had 80 invitations. Okay, so all in 1 week, my books were printed wrong. It's not my book inside my cover, and my party's in 3 weeks, right? My money's gone. So I know people will freak out. Ah! The person that changed my life. Oh my gosh. Okay, back to seriousness. Hi, Rod. We can't hear you. You're on mute. You guys are on mute.
How are you?
You guys all unmute yourselves.
Yeah, everyone unmute themselves.
How you guys doing on the program?
Hi, Rod. Good.
Hey, Rod.
We wish you guys were here.
Yes.
I wish I was there.
You guys are
I
gonna
need to be there.
just keep growing, have something to look for.
Rod
And then you guys bring them here. Let's do an event here.
We can come.
It's
We
a
can do an
beautiful
event
place.
here.
Let's do an event here. You guys want to come?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it. Like, again, everybody is so cool. Everybody here started where you are. Just kind of remember that.
All of us.
And they did not have the tools that you guys have.
All of everyone, I was just saying right before you got here, Rod, every single person on this group, they are growing leaps and bounds. I mean,
What week are you guys in?
They're starting week 3.
Starting our
just
fourth.
week four.
Week
Well,
4?
we just finished. No, it's just 3.
Starting 4.
Week 4.
4, right?
What
4.
questions? You guys have any questions? Anything you'd like to ask or say?
Thank you so much for. Huh?
I say you always have a million
Can I
questions.
speak?
Hit us.
Well, I was just going to say thank you so much for creating for bringing together so many powerful people for her. A lot of us who don't know that we're powerful. So thank you for allowing us to recreate our blueprint. When I spoke yesterday, I spoke about TransformU, and I told them that I feel like I've been empowered to recreate the blueprint that God installed in me. Not maybe recreate it, but find it and build what I'm capable of having, because I can have anything I want. It doesn't have to be of scarcity and deception and victimization, but it can be of victory and belief and dependence and independence. And so those are my 3 words. And so I'm excited to grow. I was just telling them, I feel like I'm in like I have this awareness that nobody around me has. So I'm like, you don't know how to get through that, but I do. Let me help you. And it's been amazing to see how it's making my husband do double takes in his own life.
Beautiful. Man, you're really, really good at communicating. That was beautifully said.
She's a beautiful soul.
Yeah, that's
All
beautiful.
these
Beautifully said,
beautiful
Kenya.
women. Yeah.
Who else? What else you got?
Anyone want to add anything?
Christy, what do you got?
Put her on the spot.
Put her on the spot.
Call me out. Okay. This week when I read the video, what I wrote down is, if you can't discipline your body, you can't discipline your mind. And as I sat there and tried to sit for 5 minutes, I was like, I don't have time for this. I can't do it. I'm so busy, and I'm learning and I'm growing and I'm getting out of my comfort zone, but I don't have time for this 5 minutes. But as I sat there and I did it, it was like almost like a weight lifted off of my shoulder. I had more clarity of mind. I was breathing. I felt the peace come over me, and I knew that I could accomplish everything that I do and grow in all the ways that I need to. And so that was so good for me. And I'm going to make sure I do that more often.
That's beautiful, guys. And just kind of remember that the unconscious mind is not interested in changing. So unless you're uncomfortable initially, then you're not changing. And so that's beautiful, and that's maturity. So great job. How about Margaret? Margaret.
Choke me up there. Oh no, we had, I was telling them earlier, I got really into listening to you describe about Tiger's interview today and focusing on just the goal at one time. So not the whole, not what the outcome is, but just focus on what this one piece is going to take you to. So they know I just had hip replacement surgery 3.5 weeks ago. So I've been focused on recovery and trying to push myself. And they also know I push myself too much. So kind of like having to get away from being that person that says, I have to do this, and take that step back and reassess about what I really need to do to achieve what I want to do, and not think about, I have to be walking like this. Right now, I have to be able to do this exercise, not walk a mile without a cane.
There you go. One step at a time. That's beautiful. Karen.
That's right.
Karen.
She has your healthy mind and body.
Hey, I've just been saying that I've been in a funk for a while, and that I am trying to figure out how to bring music back into my life, singing, playing violin, piano, that kind of thing. Not just, I've taught it before, but it's different. I need to be like performing, or at least perform for myself and bring that back. And
we want you defunk.
that's like
Yeah.
I'm more opera, but yeah.
Tammy, what do you got, Tammy?
We did talk this week. We were just kind of going back for this week, and I took a hike that I was told it was going to be just 3 miles, and it was actually 3 miles one way. But I found myself not saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm not going to make it. Oh, this is too hard." I'm not sure who that is behind you, but hello. I'm not going to make it down. There was no negative self-talk at all, which I've always had before. Right? I've never wanted to be physical until the last 6 months. So I've been getting out and exercising, and it feels great. But that self-talk has been huge in the conversation I had with my husband, just about what I'm doing in this class and how I'm processing 2 really big hurts in my life from people that should love me and should not be naughty to me. just processing that with him, and it's just been amazing, all these 21 days of stuff. I mean, in the beginning, I was just kind of, like Molly said, just putting stuff in, having it, just because I wanted to accomplish and complete something. I'm a good starter. That's one of my, what do you call those? When you're in not the rut dweller, but I'm a good starter. Yes, a success seeker. I was determined to finish it, even if it was half-assed. And so now it's just been really fun to see, like, real change and growth.
Beautiful.
That's
And last but not least,
thank you,
Miss Christine.
So I shared a little bit earlier, but I think, as I look back over my notes from the video today, it is, what am I going to decide to do? And that's a question you asked us in the video, but we're putting things in the program, but have I really decided to do it? Because if I haven't really decided to do it, it's not going to make any difference, right? So it's disciplining the mind and truly deciding, once I've decided, I'm done. That's it. I have on my vision board, I have decided, because I know once I decide, I won't ever stop reaching for that. But it's when I kind of decide, or kind of do this, or kind of do that. And I think we all do that. I think we all get to that point where we're like, yeah, I'm doing that. But the posture is totally different when you're like, I am doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Totally
big.
100%. There's a complete difference and shift in that.
That's beautiful. Guys, I'm so proud of you. And I'm going to hold you personally accountable to not just making it through, but making it through beautifully. Remember, life is a constant investment. You're walking around with 100 billion brain cells, the most amazing nervous system, all the talent you want and need. And your mind is saying, if you really want it, condition it. That's the only thing the nervous system understands is consistency. Whatever we do consistently, right, it becomes part of us and it takes over after a while, and it's beautiful when it does. So that's what you're doing. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for the opportunity to jump in on your call. Please reach out if you need anything.
Thank you.
You guys have amazing leaders. I love these two. They're part of my team and they're brilliant.
Thank you. We love them. We love you. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Blown away.
Thank you both for making that happen.
Thank you so much. Do you guys know when you told us that I've gotten the energy thing down so good? When you said, Laura, when you said wish for it, I literally felt the sense. I'm not being dramatic. I swear to goodness I'm not. I could feel a sensation in my body. I knew he was coming. I knew it. I could feel it. That's what I was going to say. All week, I would have this sensation, like I would tell myself in my head, I would have a task, and I would say, no matter how this turns out, I have the best attitude. So the first time my invitations were printed, I was like, the lady was crying. I'm like, why are you crying? It's a piece of paper. Then when my book was messed up, emailing me, freaking out. The lady was like, oh my gosh, cancel your event. I said, no, baby. These people came to be inspired. I will be up there with or without a book. Then, I'm like, oh, just stuff. So when I talk up here, it manifests in my life. Like, I have a text message of people saying, I'm ready to start. Like, I can't even believe, okay, I'm done.
No, thank you. Woo!
You guys, this is what's so really cool is the event where we are, they're actually turning into a company. It's going to be one of Rod's new company, In State to Create. And you're going to get to be a part of it if you choose.
Yes.
So this is just, the growth that the two of us have gotten from this, aside from helping y'all with TransformU and going through these programs ourselves, it's
life-changing.
Yeah.
Forever life-changing.
So, and we love that you're on here. The ones that you know that haven't shown up, please reach out to them and tell them that they too have it within them. They just need to apply it. You know, that daily consistency, John C. Maxwell says the same thing. You can't chop a cherry tree down with just 5 strokes, but if you go out every day and take a stroke at it, you're going to chop it down. So.
You know, Barb, it's funny you said that because last week I knew that I couldn't have the call till 7. So I planned my schedule around it at 7, but I was having a really rough weekend of deception. So when 7 came, I knew I was supposed to be on the call. So I scrolled through the page and I'm like, oh, I can't find the link. I knew the link. Come on, Kenya. So this week, I'm sitting downstairs at the counter. That's why I texted you, because I knew if I texted you after that enrollment that I would have to get on. So I'm learning for me so that deception doesn't creep in after the fact. If I make myself accountable for that little thing, then I do it.
Mm-hmm.
No excuses.
So I'll remind Nikki. Thank you for giving us that.
Yes. So we manifest, you know, I'm just going to kind of put that out there where Kenya left. We manifest everything that happens in our life. Everything. There's nothing that we take for chance or for granted. It's all a manifestation of what's inside of us. We know it's here, it's within us. We just have to have the universe talk to the universe and say, I need you. This is what I want. Tell the universe what you want, but you have to say it and speak it out loud. I can tell you that when Brad was unsure, we've been in uncertainty, you know, for a very long time when we got another buyout at the company. So he was without a job. And I said, we are putting it in the universe. You're going to have 5 offers this week. Put it out there. And I made him recant and have incantations. Every morning we woke up and we did our incantations. And
She's very insistent on that.
I am. And guess what? Not 5, but 3 interviews that came with offers. That's what happened. And he said, I can't believe that happened. I said, no. You tell the universe we made that happen. And then it was up to the offer. Which one are we going to take? And I said, well, you have to decide. You have to decide not what's comfortable, not the easy piece. You have to take the job that's going to make you grow. And he says, but honey, that means we have to move again. Now, mind you, we just moved 2 years prior. We hadn't even been in our house for 2 years yet. And it was a major move from Kentucky to Florida. And I said, who cares? So what? It's fun to move. We have all opportunities ahead of us. And he just wanted to look at the negative side of moving. It's like, no.
You get to massively clean the house.
We get to put the house on the market. And I said, we're going to manifest this. We're going to sell this house before it hits 7 days on the market. And I put it out there in the universe and I made him say it. We are selling this house. And guess what, guys? What happened?
Days, wasn't it?
It was less.
Oh, okay.
7 days under. We were under contract in less than 7 days. But we had our first showing, and it was the first person who did the showing who actually was the one that put the offer in. Same thing with the house. You manifest your life. You manifest, you put it out there, and where your energy goes, your life flows. That's just what happens. And so I am just so, like I said, I'm so proud of you all. Your shares have been extraordinarily,
Awesome.
such growth,
Yeah.
such growth. Love all of these shares.
Yeah, you guys were just so awesome today. We appreciate you delving in. This is the week where you might want to go back and check your visions. You might want to reword them. You might want to think bigger. You know, be intentional with it rather than just filling in the blanks.
I'm going to go to Christine. You have decided, Christine. You have decided. And I love the fact that when you said, you should have heard your tone. If you listen back to this tape,
Total change.
your tone was, when I decide, I am doing it. Well, heck yeah. Of course you are.
It's what's so funny. You came from an inferior posture when you were explaining it to a warrior.
Yeah.
So it was really cool.
Yeah.
Now, what we're talking about is the
Archetypes.
archetypes that we're learning about through Mastery, which is another program that you may want to take after this. It's a year long, and it's well worth it because actually it's 6 months.
It's 6 months, but
It's 6
most
months.
of the time you can repeat it.
Yeah, every month is a different theme. So, and it's a once a week assignment rather than an everyday assignment. But you have one call with Rod every week, and you have one call with an advisor.
Hey, what's up, hey guys? Hi, say hi up there, guys. Zoom to Zoom. Zoom to Zoom. We're all doing Zooms to our teams. Okay. So yeah, no, Barb is spot on. I will tell you, all of these people who had mastery with God, I mean, it's an outstanding program. So it's just the one thing that you may want to add after we finish this. Talk about exponential growth. That is your next level, because then you can learn. That's the best of every program that we have going. But we have so many more coming. I'm telling you, when In-State to Create, you get this, you're going to see the new company logo, the new website, all of our assets are going to be out there.
It just chills up our spines today. It was just, Rod and his team have, our team have created, it just blows me away because of the vision and the dream we've put into this. So it's so exciting to watch it unfold.
Yeah. And I love the fact that we're all going to be able to do this together. So great.
So we love you guys. Anything you want to add before we sign off? Tammy.
Go ahead, Tammy.
There we go. I need to find my mute button. Two things I just wanted to add with Christine and just talking to people. Whenever I say hello and I don't get a response, I'm like, hey, good morning. Nothing. I mean, there are people who do nothing, which surprises the heck out of me. I just keep on walking and say, or not, because that helps me like validate what I'm doing and acknowledge everybody has their own behavior. So that was one thing that I realized this week. And the other thing I have done is I recorded myself. I actually read my videos and recorded myself. Thank you, Kenya. So I didn't watch the recording because I was reading, but I used all the intonations and the excitement and the energy, and I've been listening to them. And I do see a couple of things that I want to change that I don't like, but it's been really helpful. I listen to them every day then, and then I'm not reading them. I'm getting my belief like fed back into me. So I don't know if that's helpful for people, but it's been awesome for me.
That's what they have.
I encourage you guys all to do it.
Oh, good.
So basically, all you're doing is you're reading your visions on camera, video to yourself with all your excitement, all your motivation. And when you see deception, you feel a dip, you feel yourself struggling, you go to your phone, you hit play. And Kenya is talking to Kenya. Tammy is talking to Tammy. Barb is talking to Barb. So you're having that self-feedback to self, and it's really helped me.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
What a great idea.
You guys should share a couple of those in our Facebook group.
Yeah.
Oh, I can post mine in there.
Tammy, I want to just say something. So when you say hello, always and your smile on your face, your presence, your point of just offering your love to the world. That's all you're doing. You're not getting a rejection. You're offering your love. And the people who you walk by, no judgment. You don't know that they aren't receiving. You don't know that they aren't receiving it. They may receive it, and it may be your aura just slaps them up the backside of the head. Oh, I missed an opportunity to say hello. Yeah. So, I mean, always know that love grows. So you walk in and you present love, you'll always have love back, and just keep presenting it because it will come back to you in droves and spades in so many ways that you don't even recognize.
Okay. I wish Katie was still on because we actually talked about this morning on a phone call that she needed from me. And Rod talked about it this morning. The Spanish company that he's working with to build our assets with has an expression. There's an abundance of scarcity, or there's an abundance of abundance. Which one do you choose? Yeah.
Big. That's big.
Yeah.
It's abundance of abundance in this brain, baby. That's what we live.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Love you all.
We love you.
See you tonight if you're on the call.
Bye.
Bye.